Hi folks, I know, no video for over a year and now two in one day. My previous one, the vinyl tag for 2019, I recorded on Friday, but I'm just uploading it today. Yesterday, Friday night, I found out that there was the return of the Carlisle Record Fair. Carlisle's the biggest city here in Cumbria, but about an hour and a quarter away on the train. So you got to do it. You got to go. So this video will be to show a quick, well, hopefully quick, a quick run through what I bought yesterday at the record fair. I've not had a chance to clean or listen to any of these, but let's get on with it. The first 6 or 7 were from the £4 or 3 for £10 bin, and the first one is J.J. Cale 5, his 5th album, obviously. This is on the Shelter label, and it's actually a Canadian pressing from what year? Not sure. 1979. I've only got one other J.J. Cale album, but he's obviously a big influence on Eric Clapton and Dire Straits, people like that. Second one, first of this by this band, String Driven Thing, The Machine That Cried. This is their 3rd album, and it's an American pressing, but it's on the upside down Charisma label, the famous Charisma label. Heard good things about this, but never. I think I've heard 1 or 2 tracks in the past, but first time I've seen one in the wild. Thought I'd pick that up. Right, the rest of them from that 4 and 3 for 10 bin were all folk albums. The first one is by the JSD band. I love the JSD band. They're a bit different. They're electric folk, a bit different from what you normally get, because you get, obviously, you get the Celtic influence, but you also get some American folk and blues. This is on the Cube label from 1972. I've actually got this on vinyl already, but it's packaged as a twofer with a Planksty album, so 3 for 10. Thought I'd get a separate copy because it's well worth it. Right, next one is only my 2nd Incredible String Band album. This is, I think, is it from about 1970? I'm not sure. Be Glad, for the Song Has No Ending. At this point the band were a 4-piece with obviously Robin and Mike, with their girlfriends Rose and Licorice. The whole second side is a soundtrack to a documentary film about the band of the same title, and it's all instrumental. It's on the Island Pink outer label. Oh yeah, 1970. I need to pick up more by the Incredibles. Next, the very first band I ever saw live in Egremont Folk Club, just down the road. That's Planksty, the great Planksty. This is, I think, their first album from 1973, I want to say, and it was. So I must have seen them in about 73, 74. It was before I went off to university, I know that. And obviously just on the Polydor label. One of the greats of folk music, Planksty. with a superb Christy Moore. Next, another great band, Horslips. This is, I think, their 4th or 5th album. I've never heard this one. It's The Unfortunate Cup of Tea, from 1975 on RCA. Just the normal RCA label. Get it up right. It's not meant to be as good as what came before and what came after, so, but I think I've only got one other Horslips album to get now to complete my collection. And another Irish band, sticking with Ireland, and this is the Bothy Band and their first album, 1975, from presumably 1975. And again on Polydor. First time I've bought, I think I've got one CD by the Bothy Band. A great set of tunes and folk traditional songs. Famous, two most famous members are probably Matt Malloy on flute and whistle and Donald Lunny on bouzouki. Nice stuff. So we move across the water. Now that the rest are mid-price ones, really. Across the water to the States for the James Gang third album, Thirds. This is when Joe Walsh was still in the band. This is, I think, an original pressing, a UK pressing on the Probe label. Never seen that label before. Only my second James Gang album. This is from 1971, and obviously their third album. Next, an album by a band that I've been wanting to get something by for a long time, because I've only had one track on the Atlanta Isle of Wight Pop Festival triple album, but I've always wanted more, and that's Cactus. It's One Way or Another, which I think is their third album, rightly. This is from 1971 again, and it's an American issue on the Atco label. Looking forward to this. Been looking for ages for one of their albums, so I was glad to find that. Next up is a twofer, two originals of the Iron Butterfly, and the two albums are Ball and Metamorphosis. I think their third and fourth albums respectively, from 1969 and 1970, on the Atlantic label, standard Atlantic label there. Don't know these two albums, but I like Iron Butterfly, so would have been nice to have the original albums, but it was a nice decent price for two together. Gotta do it. Next there was one that I've been looking to fill a hole. Mod the Hooples, Mad Shadows, their second album, I believe. I now just need the first album, Brainkeepers the fourth, and All the Young Dudes the fifth album to get. And this is again on Ireland, pink rim label from 1970. A few more. It's quite a successful trip yesterday. Another one. This one does completes my 1970s releases for the band Van der Graaf Generator. This is world record. This was when after they reformed it, I think was it 1975, and this album came out in 1976, and again on the famous Charisma label. Absolutely love Van der Graaf. I would have seen them live around this time for the very first time at Newcastle City Hall. But like I say, that completes all of the 70s releases. Excellent, glad I found that. And staying with Van der Graaf, the main man, Pete Hamill, In Camera. Again, on the Charisma label, this was from, what year did he do this? You get a nice inner. This 1971, I think. No, 1974, sorry. 1974. This is an excellent album, actually, of his. And adds to my collection. Now the rest of them are all in a sort of jazz rock vein, all from the same seller really. Got a good deal on all of these. The first is George Russell's New York Band with Live in an American Time Spiral. Now I don't know much about George Russell. I know he's a composer and arranger. A while back I heard his album Electric Sonata. It's a longer title, but I can't remember the rest of it, which I thought was excellent, so I thought I'd try this. This is like a big band with 4 trumpets, a couple of trombonists, 3 saxophonists, guitar, bass, 2 keyboards and drummer, and George Russell conducts. I think this is recorded over a 2-day period in New York and then remastered in Milan, Italy, and it's on the Italian Soul Note label, which I've never seen before. I like that label, Soul Note. Not sure exactly what to expect for this, but I think it could be very interesting. It was quite cheap. So I would love to find Electric Sonata sometime, because I really did enjoy that. But this could be really interesting. Next up, my second Jean-Luc Ponty album, Imaginary Voyage. This is a Portuguese pressing of a 1976 album on Atlantic. The only other album I've got by him is the King Kong one, which was excellent. So this should be good. He's a superb violinist. Who else plays on this? Daryl Sturmer plays guitars, Alan Zavod on keyboards, Tom Fowler on bass, and Mark Craney on percussion. Excellent. Next up, a guy I think he's known more for his free jazz, British jazz drummer, John Stevens. His album Touching On. This features the great Alan Holdsworth on guitar, Jeff Young on piano, and Ron Mathewson on bass. Not sure what to expect here. I've got an album by John Stevens, Away, which is more in a fusion vein rather than free jazz. Not sure which area this sort of falls in, but it's got Alan Holdsworth on it, so it should be good. It's on a German label, View, and it's from 1977. It was recorded in London. Again, I'm intrigued. Wasn't expensive. Could be really good. One of my favourite jazz rock fusion bands is Nucleus, and this is their 1977 album, billed as Ian Carr's Nucleus, with In Flagrante Delicto. At this point, Nucleus were Ian Carr obviously on trumpet and electric piano, Brian Smith on sax, Jeff Castle on electric piano and synth. Veriamo Arta Terranziamoa Caratayana, or Bill Christian on bass, and Roger Sellers on drums. This is a UK pressing on the Capitol label from 1977. I love Nucleus. Originals of their early albums are very expensive to find. I've managed to get a couple of reissues, but I'm always looking out for more by Nucleus. Excellent. Next up is a quartet of Hugh Hopper, and on bass Elton Dean on sax, both from Soft Machine, Keith Tippett on piano, and Joe Gallivan on drums and synth. It's their album Cruel But Fair. This is excellent. I've had this on CD for a while. If you like a bit more freer sort of softs, this should be up your street. It's on Compendium Records, a Norwegian label. I hope you can see that. And was recorded in Oslo in 1976. Okay, I've got this on CD. Not listened to it in a long while, but well worth having. I was really stoked to find this. And then probably the one I was most happy to find, because I've been looking for it for ages, is Hugh Hopper's 1984, his first, I think, solo album from 1973. This is on CBS. Is it, as you say, the one eye, is it? This is excellent. I think this carries on from all sort of the sort of stuff he was doing with Soft Machine and I think some of the stuff around 6. Apart from himself, there's John Marshall obviously on drums, and people like Pi Hastings, Lol Coxhill, Gary Window, Malcolm Griffiths and Nick Evans play on this. Really, really happy that I got this. Can't wait to listen to it. Well, that's it. You've had 2 videos from me. I hope you've enjoyed seeing those. Hopefully I won't be leaving it too long before I produce another one. I'm always buying stuff, so there's always something to show. Oh, just a final thing, it's Mother's Day here in the UK, so happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Take care.